It is with our minds we create the world. Let's take a quick look at intention versus expectation. Many people have commented on the idea of setting an intention with regard to a mindfulness practice, as if that's a negative thing or it's something that ought not to be included in practicing anything that has a contemplative or spiritual growth sort of shape or flavor. In other words, some people believe that intentions or having a goal-oriented outcome is actually the antithesis of a true spiritual practice. So the way I frame this is in the service of is the piece of the intentionality practice that is most salient for our needs. So what is your practice in the service of? More compassion, more connection, more curiosity, more love, more kindness. This sort of intention setting can be really helpful to those of us who want not to strive. You don't necessarily want to strive with expectations in mind, but setting an intention is akin to creating the ground for a seed to be planted. I don't remember where I first heard this. It's a metaphor, obviously, but you can plant the most beautiful seeds, but if the ground is dry and brittle, nothing will ever come of your garden. And in some way, our minds are the garden in which we want to plan actually, the appropriate seeds for the sort of growth that we most want to accomplish. So the ground is the intention that you are setting actually fertilizes the soil in some way. And I know in my own experience, I've planted the most beautiful seeds and then walked out of the house and screamed at the first neighbor I saw or barked at the moon or whatever it was that triggered me immediately, clearly reflecting that the seeds planted in the wrong garden or the wrong soil don't yield the sort of fruit that we truly want to harvest from our practice. So, and I really don't yell at my neighbors nor bark at the moon, but I think you get the point. You want to be able to create the conditions in which your gifts and your highest aspirations from this practice will arise. So what are the qualities that you most want to cultivate? Ask yourself that question and then set up the structures that support this practice by dint of the intentions that you create in your life and in your work in this particular regard. So another quote that I really, really like is, "That which hinders your task is your task." So the things that you think are obstacles or that are challenges are actually the things that you actually ought to be aware of and work with insofar as getting to the other side of the divide, so to speak. So the things that actually you think are in the way are actually the way itself. I really find that is a very helpful way in my own life to look at the things that I find are annoying or are problematic or are challenging are really the things that most often, when I'm in alignment with, when I accept, when I have some level of harmony with the disquiet or the discord or the distress or the disappointments in my own life, this is really where paradoxically my own practice flourishes. So I hope that's helpful. And if you have questions, as always, in the community, feel free to post your comments or your experiences. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you in the next episode.